can you say in 20 seconds? Well, if you're a really fast speaker, you can probably say a whole lot. But how many words can you type in 20 seconds? Well, if you're a relatively fast typist, and you know what you're going to say, and you don't make a lot of mistakes, there's a good chance that you can probably type about 28 words. So 28 words in the length of a Pecha Kucha presentation is about 560 words for the entire presentation. So you can write 50,000 words in the length that it takes for about 90 Pecha Kucha presentations. Now, who cares about writing 50,000 words? Actually, believe it or not, there are hundreds of thousands of people all over the world who like writing 50,000 words because they participate in something called NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, which is the month of November. You start and finish a novel in 30 days. So if you want to write a novel in 30 days, what's involved and why would you do it? I can tell you that if you do this, you can practice your focus, your discipline, your time management. You can also work on your goal-setting skills, and you can finally figure out where creativity actually comes from. One really cool thing about participating is all you have to do is you have to sit down and start writing. Suddenly the words will just flow. You'll realize you're actually a novelist and you should quit grad school and just start publishing novels. It's really easy, you feel good, and suddenly the focus is there, the time management is there, the discipline is there. Everything is absolutely wonderful. Actually, that's not the case at all. It looks a little more like this. You finally throw your hands up in the air and you give up. 3 words, that's all you've managed to write in 20 seconds. And I know this from experience because I have participated in NaNoWriMo. I've actually done it 6 times, so I have 6 completed novels. And today I want to tell you a little bit about the process and what you might expect if you decide to participate in NaNoWriMo. So, what happens? You sit down, you start to write, and you realize everything is more interesting than writing. You suddenly want to do the dishes, you want to cut your toenails, you want to brush your teeth, you want to start sweeping the floor, you want to read the obituaries. Everything that you can think of, you name it, you want to do it. But finally, you stop procrastinating and you start writing. What's involved in creating a novel? Well, you need a plot, you need characters, you need a setting, you need a climax, and you need a resolution. Actually, you don't need any of that for NaNoWriMo. All you need for NaNoWriMo are words. Lots and lots of words, 50,000 to be exact. How do you come up with those words? I have a couple tips. What you can do is create a character who has a hearing problem, so you have to repeat everything, or a character who has a stuttering problem, so you have to repeat everything. Whatever you do, do not use contractions, because you can have a lot more words without them. The point is, start writing, and that is when inspiration will come. You don't get inspiration from sitting and thinking. You don't get inspiration from just because you're a fantastic human being. You find inspiration by doing. And you find inspiration, even more importantly, by doing day after day after day. When you participate in NaNoWriMo, you have to write 1,667 words every single day, which is the length of about a 3-page single-space paper. But this is really good because then this forces you to focus on your time management, because you don't have all day to work on this, but forces you to focus on your discipline and your focus. And how can you stay motivated? Well, you can join a writing group. And NaNoWriMo is really good for this because you can find people in your community who are also working on NaNoWriMo, which is what I did this past year with creating a community in the DLC who met together once a week to work on their novels. Whatever you do when you're working on your novel, never give up. It can be tempting. You can start to hate the process. You hate your novel, you hate your characters, you start hating the people around you even though they're actually real. But never give up. And that's the whole point of this process, is just to get through it from start to finish and be really proud of what you finally created. My first novel in 2009 was called Rivers, and it was awful. I will never let anyone read this novel. It was so bad. Same with Development in 2010. My characters were flat, They walked around doing nothing for absolutely no reason, but I was so proud of having finished both of these novels. My third novel, I had actually learned a little bit by this point, and it became a fictional autobiography of what my life would have been like if I had said yes at a certain turning point in my life instead of saying no. My characters suddenly came alive. They had motivation and meaning and depth, and there were plots and subplots, and it was so interesting, but so embarrassing because these are people I know. And so I twisted it a little bit for the next two novels, where I talked about people I knew, made it a little less personal, but was able to develop my characters and give them some excitement without really talking about things that had actually happened in my life. My final novel, the one that I wrote last November, is called A Squeeze on the Wrist, and this one is actually available to read. Now, I would caution you before you read it that it is a rough draft. It has not been edited or polished in any way, but I would like to eventually get to that point where I can become a published novelist. You have 7 months before November comes to take a look at this novel, see what you might be able to produce when you start writing, and decide whether or not you want to participate. And I would highly encourage you to at least try. And so how can you get this novel? I know you're all wondering. You can go to my website, which is travelingev.com. I have a couple of business cards here. You can come find me after the happening and pick one up if you need to be reminded of where to go. And then once you're online, you can also go to NaNoWriMo.org, which is where you sign up to become a November novelist. And I hope to see you in November writing a novel with me.